Begin. So good morning again. Today we will talk about imos.net and our B2B and B2C solutions. I will start to describe something about the difference between the two solutions, and then I will go into the details of each of them and show you our newest developments and the actual features. We have imos.net B2C and B2B solution. And the B2C solution, as it says, it's for communicating and selling to end customers. So there's is an online shop system which is developed to fit the needs of the end customer, or the trading with the end customer. In where we implemented our net configurator and the net designer, and we are using our imos data in the background to create the prices or calculate the prices, create 3D informations of the article, and to configure the articles with our imos.net XML structure. The B2C shop, there is no login needed because it's for the end customer. So everybody could go into the system, use the shop. The system is very simple, easy to use. Everybody should get very easy used to the system. We having more or less the same structure as it is known from all other online shop systems. So the end customer should be very familiar to the system if he starts to working with it. In comparison, there's our imos.net 5.0 for the B2B version, which is a system we have since many years, which is forged to working in a B2B environment. Means a producer, it's selling to business partners, or it's selling through sales channels, which are using the system. So there are much more functionalities. The system is closed, so you can't go into the system without a login, which means the producer, which is offering the system, has the full control over the users which are working with the system. The whole system is now HTML5 based. It's the same as the B2C system, which means it can be used on a local desktop PC. It can be used on smaller laptops or even iPads. It will also work on a smartphone, but we are not recommending this because if the configuration dialogues are very huge or very complex, it's not so easy to handle this on a smartphone because the display at all is too small. We changed from a local application to the HTML browser-based version, which means you can use it on all devices. It's all new, so we created a new interface. It's much faster than before, and we changed some of the workflows, so it's easier to use than before. There are a lot of new functionalities, which I will show you later. And there are a lot of use cases you can handle with a B2B system. And we implemented some new 3D functionalities, and we connected the system to imos 360. This is as well possible with a B2C system. Here's a short overview about the two systems. As I told you already, the user handling, the B2B system is only for registered users, and the B2C system is open for everybody. The licensing is in the B2B more or less individual, which means you can sell or buy systems for less than 10 users or up to 100 users, which results in a different price at the end. But the end user, end customer shop, there is no limitation because everybody can log into it. So there's one final price and that's it. The basket functionalities in the two systems, the B2B system is of course very specific for B2B users, which means they are very complex pricing strategies. You can change information, you can change customer information or end customer information, you can change the sales prices and so on. In comparison, the B2C system is very simple. The user just can go into the basket, can say yes, he wants to order. He has to insert his own information, and at the end, making the payment process, which is also the biggest difference between the B2B and B2C system. In the B2B system, we just handling the process until the order is done. So if someone presses order, he says yes, then our system is out. The next steps will be handled by the producer by himself, by an ERP system or whatever. In the B2C shop, the system makes the whole, or you can do the whole payment process and the whole after sales process inside the system. So we are offering sending emails if the order is done. The customer can pay and can make the payment inside the system. He gets confirmation emails in each step he is doing in the system, or if the order is confirmed by the producer, and so on. There are some huge differences in the UI of the two systems. The B2C is very complex functionalities, especially in the basket, and the system is built to make to use it fast. Which means if you want to make huge orders with a lot of articles, you can do it very fast with the very special functions we implemented. I will show it to you in the next steps. The B2C system is, in comparison, it's easy to use. Everybody should use it. Should be able to use it very easily without any training, without any further information. So it's more or less like each online. It's more or less built like each online shop known. And yeah, the marketing tools. Where in the B2B shop there are not much tools, because it's just the start page where you can communicate with your user, but there are no more tools. In comparison, the B2C system, there are a lot of tools you can use. There's an option you can show the most sold articles. You can show articles which fit to the ones you are looking right now, or you can build pages where are called I don't know which English word. They are called Einkaufswelten, shopping walls, and so on. So you have a lot of possibilities to make marketing inside the shop, and also to optimize the shop depending or in the needs of the search engine optimization, which is very important because the shop is open and everybody should find it in the internet. So you also have to take care of that possibilities. In comparison, the business functionalities like My Offer or My Net, where you can build end customer offers, or you can create sales structures inside the system, are only available for the B2B system and not for the B2C system. So I think for the beginning, to get just a short overview about the two systems, that's it. I will start to show you the NetShop B2C system at the beginning, and I will just switch to my browser, and that's it. You can see here our B2C system. We are calling My Design, and that's a shop system like you know. I start with a starting page here. We created just in short to get the user into the shop. There's a picture here. There are some videos implemented. There are some articles highlighted on the first page. You can add some text. Everything you can see here could be defined by the shop, by the producer who is offering the shop to the end customer. So we just giving the framework, which means we are giving the top here is predefined. There's the menu of the catalog and some other pages, and on the bottom there's a space where you can define some there are predefined some blocks where you can enter your own content. But what you are showing here and which content is shown at the end, it's totally up to you. Yeah, we will start here. I will just go into the system. There's the main difference in the data we are using for the B2C and B2B shop is in the catalog. In the B2B shop, as you know, we are using an XML structure for building the catalog. In the B2C system, what we are seeing here, the catalog structure is built inside the backend of the system. So the system offers the possibility to create a catalog, and each article you want to connect with an imos article, you have to create an article inside the catalog and link it to the XML of the imos article, which means you can not only handle imos articles inside the catalog, but also some sales articles like that one. This is just in chair, for example. We don't have this article in imos, but I can open it here and I can just put it into my basket. So I get some more information about the chair. I see the price. I can change the amount of the articles, and I can say just put it into the basket, and the article should be. Was damit? Ich kann dich nicht mehr hören. Ich habe nichts geändert. Hello? Aber ich sehe es auch hier noch. Can you hear? Please give me a short hand sign if you can hear me, because my co-moderator can't. Hello? Schreib mal was. I hope you can. I will go on. I hope you can still hear me. So we saw how we can put standard articles into the basket or shopping cart. Now I will go on with the imos articles. So I will just go back to the catalog, and we have some imos articles in here. So I will just open the sideboard for example. And you will see on the next page, it looks just like the last article page, but maybe not the sideboard. Yes.
Das startet richtig. Also.
Please, can you write a short message or give me a hand sign if you can hear me or if you can't, or about the quality of connection.
Davon wurde irgendwie ein Drittel übertragen gerade. Connection.
I think we have some connection problems here. I hope you can hear me. Ich habe auch gerade voll schlechte Verbindung. Yeah, I will just go on. My article is right now, it's loaded, and we see here that the, siehst du das Bild? Ist noch normal. You can see the article is loaded, and we have our configuration here. This configuration is based on our XML structure we are also using in the B2B system, and which we are already used in all imos net versions before. So if you already have some XMLs, maybe also from using the design manager inside imos, you can use this data also here to fill the B2C system with article configurations. There are different options, like we know you can enter some just some numbers or texts. We have select fields. We have paraphotos on the left where you can structure your configuration. We have images here, especially for decor or something like this. It's important to show the customer what he will get or what he selects. Yeah, and at the end, if you make your configuration, you can get a 3D preview. In this case, we implemented WebGL preview. So the article is generated and you get a 3D image, which you can show in each current browser, which supports WebGL without any other plugins. So as we had it before with Vermel and the Cordona player, it's no longer needed. If you like your configuration, you can just say, yeah, I like it and I want to calculate the price. Because we are calculating the price in the background through the imos functionalities, we are not doing it in real time. So you just can say, yeah, I want to know what is my price for this article. And if it's okay, I can put this article into the basket. What we saw here is our net configurator. If I put it in the basket, I get just a confirmation that it's arrived there and I can go on. What we saw here is our net configurator, which is implemented into the B2C system, but we also implemented the net designer. The net designer is our latest development. We did in the HTML5 version, which means you got a configuration, but based on a 3D model. So what you're seeing here is just a 3D version of the object you are configuring, and you can make changes on this article, and you will see the changes immediately on the left side. So I just changed the width of the article, and maybe I want to have some adjustable shelves inside the article. I can drag and drop my sub-articles into my article. I can click on the elements I imported and I can make the settings especially for that element. And all the changes I do are immediately shown on the left side. I will just add some doors to my article on the left or the right side. And in the next step, I can change the decor or the textures of the article, the materials. Right now it's white. Maybe I want to have a black one or a blue one or a green one. Maybe some nice cherry tree. So the customer gets all the time an impression of his current configuration. He can change some settings. Maybe you don't want to have the transparency, so you can just switch it off. You can also have a 3D preview we saw just in the net configurator. And this time we are sending the article back to the server, and the server will calculate the preview of this article normally. You can change from 3D to a 2D view. Maybe someone doesn't like the 3D object, so you can work in a 2D, two-dimensional version of this object. You can make some changes. Also here, you can change the decors here. You see, I just changed just one door, so you can make very individual configurations for this article. I will switch back to the 3D because I like it much more. Yeah, and at the end, if you are happy with your configuration, the same procedure here. In this case, it's different. We are calculating the price for this article in real time because it is done in the 3D model. We can do this. So I will just go back to the dimensionings. Maybe I will change something here, so we'll see the price will change in real time. Hopefully. No, it doesn't. Maybe the height is not a parameter for that. Yeah, it should be. Or at least you can do it. Maybe it's not configured that way, but we have the possibility here to change the price with each configuration we are doing. At the end, put the article into the basket, and we saw the net configurator with just a dialog structured configuration, and we saw the net designer with the 3D based configuration. I will now just go into my shopping cart. And I see all my articles in here, so I get some images with article descriptions. We see also the chair I started with. I get the prices. I can change my the amount of the articles here. I can delete the articles here, and I can make some more settings about my my order I want to place. So I can say, yeah, it should be delivered to Germany. I just have one payment option here, which is billing, but we can have a lot of more options. So standard in the shop, it's offered that you can have billing. You can say you want to have prepayment. You can PayPal payments. We can implement third-party payment providers. In Germany, there is Heidelpay, for example, or there is an international one, which is PayMill, I think, or which are providers which are doing the whole payment process for you. Which means if you are selecting one of this, if you are using one of this payment provider, you will get all the options this provider is offering here. For example, payment with credit card. The user chose this option and says, yeah, go to the checkout process. And inside the checkout process, the provider offers the possibility to make a payment in your site, but through the channels of this provider. So you don't need to take care about all the handling the credit card payments. You don't need to make special contracts with any banks or any credit card providers. It's all done by the third party, or all done by the full service payment providers. If I want to place my order, I just can insert my information here. I just fill out the form. I will just fill out the form. You see there are some mandatory informations I need to fill. Otherwise, I can't go on. Schon wieder. I hope you still can hear me. I'll just do it like this.
Das Fenster ist auch eingefroren.
Yeah, you can hear me again. I hope you also can see my screen. I'm not sure of it. But yeah, I just entered my information. I get a confirmation page where all my information is shown again, which is important to fit all the legal things I have to take care of if I'm using an online shop system. And at the end, I say just, yeah, I want to order this. Then I have to accept the terms and conditions. So I just place my order. Now I will get an email, and the provider will get an email, and yeah, everything will go on. That was our B2C system. Now I want to show you the B2B system. I'm not sure if it's working because we had some technical issues here as well, but we will try it. In the B2B system, what we are seeing here is just our login page, which means I have to start logging into the system with my user account. I told you already the B2B system is limited to users only, so you need to create the accounts for your users. The advantage for you is that you have full control about who is using the system, and you also see if someone is using the system, what is he doing, and what is he allowed to do, what he is doing at the end, how much baskets he did, how much offers he did, and so on. So you also can create statistics about your users, how are you using the system, and are you using it at all, which articles are the most popular one inside the system, and so on. Also here, this is the starting page. You have full control about the starting page. You can define which content you want to show here. You can use this to communicate with your users. You can give them some news. There are new articles, there are holidays, whatever you want. But the main thing is the catalog, the configurator, the 3D scene, and the basket at the end. So I will start also here with the catalog. As I already told you, there are very different use cases in the B2B system. Someone want to sell kitchens, others want just to say some panels or just parts of furnitures. Others have living room furnitures, whatever. I will start with the kitchen because that's what we are most likely to do, what we are like most. In the kitchen, it's more or less always the case that you have a kitchen with a lot of articles, but all the articles have the same layout or have the same design. Therefore, we implemented a functionality which is called global settings. If you know our latest or the last imos.net versions, this functionality was also available there. So you can just predefine how should your articles look like, which you are configure in the next steps. So I just say I want to have a car case decor, which is gray. I want to have a front with maybe a beech tree. And I want to have fronts with a handle bar. I save the settings, and now I start my configurations. I can just choose my articles by walking through the catalog, or I can use a search in here, which shows me all the articles which fit to my shirts, which is a very fast way to find the articles you want to configure. I will start with an article with 4 drawers. And there's the first thing we did here. We have implemented a 3D preview of the article inside the configuration. Which means it should show the colors here, but it also shows if I make some changes in the article, for example, the width of the article, I change it to 900. And if I switch the para folder, the article will be recalculated, and you will always see the actual configuration of the article on the left side. I'm not sure why I don't see the textures right now, because normally there should also be textures. But we see the article. I can have a 3D preview also here, which will show me more or less the same like this one. I can have it very fast if I just maximize this option. I close it. If we are, I forgot to tell it. If we are on an iPad or on a mobile device where our imos 360 AR augmented reality viewer is installed, if you are using the 3D preview, you will get a preview inside the viewer, which means the user clicks on the 3D button, the geometry will be generated, the user will be switched to the augmented reality application, and the user can view his configured article in real time or during his configuration in the viewer, and can place the article in his living room or in the kitchen or whatever he wants to have it later. I think all of you already saw our augmented reality technology. I will save the article. This is something we implemented here. We changed the workflow a bit, so you can define if you want to input the article in a basket you already did the last days, or you can just create a new one. I will make a new one, which I call it webinar. So the article is generated in the background, and I can go back to the catalog and can go on with my next articles. I will just go to the... I don't have to go into the articles if I already made my global settings here. And if I think that the other settings for the articles doesn't matter for me, I can just click on the small plus here and the articles are inserted into my basket, just like that. It's a very fast way. I will have a tall cabinet as well. Let's take this one. And maybe I want to have a wall cabinet, but this one I want to configure because I don't want to have a wooden I don't want to have a wooden door. I want to have a glass or an aluminium frame door with just glass in it. I change the settings. I save the article, and that's it. So that way you can make very fast configuration. We also implemented here the net designer we already saw in the B2C shop system, which is more or less the same. So I won't go through it all the way. Just that you see it. In this system, in the B2C system, there's the same data in the background, but which is important for you to know, the systems are not working together, which means if you have a B2B system and in B2C system, you have to handle all the data twice. Because the background is that we are using two totally different systems in the background. The one B2C shop is a B2B shop, is a type of free system, which makes all the communication and all the handling of the baskets and so on. And the B2C system, we are using an online shopping system, which is called Shopware. Yeah, so these are two totally separated systems. Another option to make fast configurations is the thing we call net panel. Net panel is just an option to configure articles in a kind of table view. Like you see it here, I just can define just panels with the length and the width, maybe 600, 400. I can define the dimensionings here, the materials, and if I am on the end, I can get a new line which will copy the information from the last one I did, and so I can make in a very fast way a lot of configuration in a very short time, in a very easy way. I get a quick overview about my settings I did, and I can say save the articles. I will go back to the basket. I will save the articles, and he will place all 4 articles I configured here into the basket at once. I always see what's inside my basket here on the bottom. I can open this view, so I get an overview about all the baskets all the time. So I don't need to go into the basket like we had it before. This is the net panel module, standalone, but we also implemented this module inside the articles, which means if you open an article, you can say, for example, yeah, I want to define the thickness of the material, maybe in 25 millimeter, the material, which is oak. And in the next step, you can use this table view to just configure details of a lot of articles. Maybe that's also interesting if you have real car cases or kitchen cabinets or whatever. So you can define the materials and all the things which are similar for each article. You can define in the first steps, and at the end, if it comes to the measurements, you can use the table options to configure single articles with special dimensions and so on. So if all the articles are imported into my basket, I can just go to the scene. The scene is a new module we implemented here. We don't have a room planning right now. We are working on that. And I think the first version will be presented, not sold, but presented on the Ligna. But we have already in functionality here where you can put articles on a 3D space and place it relatively to each other. So I just imported an article here. I will import the next one and this one and the big one and this article. So as you see, all the articles are built up here, and I can move the articles on this 3D space where the articles will snap to each other. That's a little slow today, but hopefully. I will just delete some articles out of the planning. Maybe it gets faster again. So you see the articles snap to each other, so it's very easy to place the articles inside the scene. You can move the articles. When we have implemented a functionality, because we don't have a room planning, but maybe someone wants to see how the articles will look like inside a room, you can we can enable pictures where we can place the articles inside the picture. So it looks like we are in the room, but at the end they are just inside a picture, and I can switch the situation. So I have just some different options to show my articles. Won't fit here. Where it is. Like this. So you can give your customer or the end customer at the end, you can give him a nice screenshot of the planning, and you can go to the basket. This picture is also uploaded to the server, and on the server, and you can use it inside your basket to print it on PDF files and so on. I'm in the basket here. The basket looks more technical than in the B2C version. We have a lot of information. If you expand all the details of all the articles, you have a lot of information for each article, all the description, image. The image is rendered on the server based on the configuration you did. We have the sales prices and the purchase prices. You can change details for each article. You can change the sales price like this. I made it more expensive. It's good for you. You can give discounts. You can enter a lot of information where at first information about you, and where information you can enter about your end customer, where are documents stored, like pictures. You can create different kind of offers, PDF files. We can see all the price calculation here again. So these are the purchase prices, where are the sales prices in details, where are some kind, one more option to give discounts. You can add delivery and assembly costs, and at the end you will get a final price. And what we also implemented here is in functionality to export the whole planning or the whole basket to 360. So if you made a kitchen, for example, with a scene, and you can just go to the imos 360 Connect, and you can export all the information. That means article images, article AR models of the images. You can export the whole scene as augmented reality object. You can export the PDF files. All the information you have here, you can export to 360 and give it that way very easy to your end customer. So you can go home, he has all the information on his smartphone in an enclosed environment. He can show it to everybody, and he can think about it. He can make comments on the information you gave him, and can send this information back to you. So this is a complete integration of the 360 module into the imos.net B2B environment. Yeah, that's more or less all the things I want to show you today. I hope it was interesting for you, and you got some informations which are important. I hope the connection and the quality of the presentation was not so bad, because we had some problems here. Yeah, I wish you a nice weekend, and see you later.